The courtroom was silent. Tae-hyun stood in the center of the great hall, his hands bound in energy chains. Above him, 50 judges from 50 different worlds stared down. Their faces showed no kindness. Their eyes held only anger. "Commander Tae-hyun," the head judge said. Her voice echoed through the room. "You are accused of treason against the Galactic Concordance. How do you answer?" Tae-hyun lifted his head. "I saved 40,000 lives." "You defied a direct order," another judge shouted. "Protocol 7 is clear. Enemy forces that lose a battle must be destroyed. No exceptions." "They were retreating," Tae-hyun said. His voice was calm but firm. "Their weapons were offline. They had families, children. They were no threat." The head judge slammed her hand on the desk. "That is not your decision to make. You are a soldier. You follow orders." Tae-hyun had known this day would come. 3 months ago, he had commanded a fleet in the Outer Rim. The enemy ships were disabled and helpless. His orders were simple: destroy them all. Leave no survivors. But when he looked at the sensor readings, he saw life signs, thousands of them, beings huddled in escape pods and damaged ships waiting to die. He could not do it. He had let them go. 30 years, Tae-hyun said quietly. "I served the Concordance for 30 years. I fought in 12 wars. I never ran from battle. I never abandoned my duty, but I will not murder helpless people." "Murder?" The head judge laughed. It was a cold sound. "You speak of murder? Those creatures would have killed our people without mercy. Your weakness put the entire galaxy at risk." The other judges nodded. They whispered to each other. Tae-hyun knew what was coming. He had always known. "Commander Tae-hyun," the head judge announced. "The council finds you guilty of treason. Your punishment is permanent exile. You will be stripped of your rank, your enhancements, and your citizenship. You have 72 hours to leave Concordant space. If you return, you will be executed. This court is finished." The energy chains vanished. Guards surrounded him. They marched him to a medical facility where doctors removed his cybernetic implants, the metal ports in his skull that let him control ships with his mind, the neural links that connected him to other soldiers, the strength enhancers in his bones. They took it all. When they finished, Tae-hyun felt hollow, weak, alone. They gave him a small ship. It was old and barely functional. "Where will you go?" one guard asked. He sounded almost sorry. "Does it matter?" Tae-hyun replied. He tried to contact his family, his mate, Serena, his daughter, Kira, but his access codes no longer worked. They had already erased him from their lives. The Concordance was efficient that way. When you became an exile, you stopped existing. Tae-hyun sat in the pilot's chair of his tiny ship. He looked at the star charts. Every system was red, forbidden. The entire galaxy had turned its back on him. Then he saw it. One system at the edge of the map, Sector 47B. The markers around it flashed yellow: quarantine zone, primitive species, no contact authorized. Earth. He had heard stories about Earth. Every soldier had. It was the forbidden world. The humans there were still young, still violent. They had nearly destroyed themselves 100 years ago with nuclear weapons. The Concordance had placed Earth under strict quarantine. No one was allowed to make contact until humans proved they could survive without killing themselves. Other species called Earth the Death World. They said humans were crazy, that they kept predatory animals as pets, that they ate poison for fun and called it spicy food, that they ran and lifted heavy things for entertainment, that they told each other horror stories before sleep. But Earth was outside concordant space. Earth was neutral. Tae-hyun set his course. The journey took 6 days. His ship's engines struggled. Warning lights kept flashing, but it held together long enough. When he entered the Sol system, he felt something strange. Hope, maybe, or just desperation. Then the engines failed completely. Alarms screamed. The ship began to spin. Tae-hyun gripped the controls, but they were dead. He was falling toward Earth's atmosphere with no power and no way to stop. The heat was incredible. The ship's hull glowed red. Metal groaned and twisted. Tae-hyun strapped himself into the seat and waited. This was it. This was how he would die. The ship hit something. Then it hit something else. Trees, maybe. The world spun. Metal tore. Glass shattered. Pain exploded through Tae-hyun's body. Then darkness. When he opened his eyes, everything hurt. He was lying on something soft. A bed. The room was small and clean. Sunlight came through a window. He heard voices speaking a language he did not know. A human woman entered the room. She had dark hair and kind eyes. She wore simple clothes with a white coat. When she saw he was awake, she smiled. "You're alive," she said in her language. Then she switched to broken Galactic Common. "Safe. You safe here." Tae-hyun tried to sit up. Pain shot through his ribs. The woman gently pushed him back down. "Rest," she said. "Name Ji-yeon. I doctor." "Why?" Tae-hyun managed to say. "Why help me?" Ji-yeon looked confused by the question. She thought for a moment, then answered simply, "You hurt. I help hurt people. That is my job." Tae-hyun stared at her. In all his years across the galaxy, no one had ever said something so simple and so profound. She helped him because he was hurt. No other reason needed. For the first time since his trial, Tae-hyun felt something break inside him. Not pain this time, something else. Something that felt almost like relief. He closed his eyes and let the exhaustion take him. For now, he was safe. For now, that was enough. 3 weeks passed. Tae-hyun healed slowly in Ji-yeon's clinic. His broken ribs mended. The burns on his arms faded to scars. But what amazed him most was not his recovery. It was the humans. Ji-yeon came every morning. She checked his wounds with careful hands. Her medical tools were primitive compared to Concordance technology. No instant healing, no cellular regenerators, just bandages, ointments, and time. Yet she worked with such focus, such care. She used her own supplies to treat him, supplies meant for her human patients. "Why do you waste resources on me?" Tae-hyun asked one day. Ji-yeon looked up from changing his bandages. "Not waste. You are patient. Patients need care. But I am not human. I am nothing to you." She frowned. "You are person. That is enough." Tae-hyun did not know what to say to that. In the Concordance, everything had value. Resources were calculated. Lives were measured against usefulness. But this human doctor treated him simply because he existed. As he grew stronger, Tae-hyun began to explore. The clinic sat at the edge of a small village in the mountains. Ji-yeon explained it was in a place called South Korea. The village had maybe 200 people. Farmers mostly, simple lives. But those simple people did extraordinary things. An old farmer named Hyun-woo brought food every day, fresh vegetables from his garden, rice, soup. He never asked for payment. When Tae-hyun tried to refuse, Hyun-woo laughed and patted his shoulder. "Guest must eat," Hyun-woo said in simple words. "That is our way." Children played near the clinic. At first, they were scared of Tae-hyun's alien appearance, his gray skin, his large black eyes, his tall, thin frame. But fear turned to curiosity quickly. Soon they were peeking through windows, giggling when he noticed them. One brave boy approached him. His name was Minho. He was maybe 16 years old. He carried a tablet device and showed Tae-hyun pictures, teaching him Korean words. "Tree," Minho said, pointing at an image. "Tree," Tae-hyun repeated. His accent was terrible. Minho laughed, but not in a mean way. He laughed like it was funny and wonderful that they were communicating at all. Every day Minho came back. He taught Tae-hyun more words, more phrases. He was patient when Tae-hyun made mistakes. He celebrated when Tae-hyun got something right. "Why do you help me?" Tae-hyun asked one day. By now, he could speak basic Korean. Minho shrugged. You want to learn. I want to teach. Both happy. Why need more reason? This became a pattern. Every human Tae-hyun met showed him simple kindness. The village elder, Soo-hyun, invited him to dinner. A teacher named Nari asked if he would visit her classroom. A mother asked him to help her fix a broken water pump, seeing he understood technology. 2 months after the crash, Nari invited Tae-hyun to observe her class. 20 children sat at desks. They were learning history, Earth history. Tae-hyun listened as Nari spoke. She did not hide the dark parts. She taught about wars, about the humans who killed each other over land, resources, beliefs. She spoke of terrible weapons and terrible choices. But then she spoke of something else, something the concordance never taught. We made mistakes, Nari said to her students. Big mistakes. People died. The world almost ended. But we learned. We changed. We chose to be better. One child raised her hand. Teacher Nari, why did they fight? Fear, Nari answered. Anger, greed. The same reasons anyone fights. But we stopped. We are still learning to stop, Nari said gently. Every day, we choose peace. It is not easy, but it is possible. After class, Nari spoke with Tae-hyun. I hope our history did not disturb you? No, Tae-hyun said slowly. I am amazed. In the concordance, we do not speak of our mistakes. We pretend we are perfect. We punish those who fail. How can you grow if you cannot admit failure? Nari asked. It was a simple question. It shook Tae-hyun's entire understanding of civilization. In the evenings, Tae-hyun helped Ji-yeon in the clinic. He learned to prepare medicines, to comfort patients, to understand that healing was not just about fixing bodies. It was about caring for the whole person. One night, after the last patient left, Ji-yeon made tea. They sat together in the quiet room. Can I ask you something? Ji-yeon said. Why did you come to Earth? Tae-hyun had not told anyone his full story. But something about Ji-yeon made him want to talk. Maybe it was her kindness. Maybe it was because he had no one else. He told her everything, the trial, the 40,000 lives, the exile, his family erasing him, the galaxy turning its back. When he finished, Ji-yeon was quiet for a long moment. You saved all those people? She finally said. Yes. That is why I was punished. Then your galaxy is wrong. Tae-hyun blinked. What? Your galaxy is wrong, Ji-yeon repeated. She looked angry now, not at him. For him. They punished you for being good, for being brave. That is wrong. The law says, I do not care what the law says. Ji-yeon's voice was fierce. Some laws are bad. Good people must break bad laws. She reached across the table and took his hand. It was a human gesture. Contact, comfort, connection. You did the right thing, she said. The hard thing and the right thing. That takes courage. Something broke in Tae-hyun then. He had held his feelings inside for so long. The shame, the loss, the loneliness. Now it all came out. Tears fell from his eyes. He did not even know his species could cry until that moment. Ji-yeon held his hand. She did not speak. She just stayed with him. Later, when the tears stopped, Tae-hyun felt different, lighter. For 3 months he had believed the concordance was right, that he was a criminal, a failure, a disgrace. But this human, this doctor from a primitive world, saw the truth. She saw that he had chosen compassion over cruelty, mercy over murder, life over law. Thank you, Tae-hyun whispered. For what? Ji-yeon asked. For seeing me, not the exile, not the alien, me. Ji-yeon smiled. That is easy. You are a good person, Tae-hyun. Anyone can see that. As Tae-hyun walked back to his small room that night, he looked up at the stars. Somewhere up there, the concordance continued without him. His people lived their lives. His daughter grew older without him. But down here, on this quarantined world, Tae-hyun had found something the galaxy had forgotten. Something precious and powerful. He had found acceptance, not for what he could do, not for his rank or his service, but for who he was. And for the first time since his exile began, Tae-hyun did not want to leave Earth. He wanted to stay. 6 months changed everything. Tae-hyun no longer felt like a visitor in the village. He felt like he belonged. His Korean had improved greatly. He could joke with Hyunwoo about the weather. He could help Nari grade papers. He could understand when the village children told him wild stories about their adventures. Tae-hyun made himself useful. He helped farmers fix their equipment using his knowledge of technology. He showed them how to build better irrigation systems using simple materials. The village's crop yield increased by 30%. But when people thanked him, he felt uncomfortable. He was just helping, like they helped him. Jian's clinic became his second home. He learned human medicine, how to set broken bones, how to stitch wounds, how to comfort a scared child before giving them a shot. The work was fulfilling in ways his military service never was. Every person he helped smiled at him, thanked him, remembered his name. In the concordance, he had been Commander Tae-hyun, serial number 447 KLT 9182. Here, he was just Tae-hyun, the tall alien who made terrible jokes and always burned the rice when trying to cook. One evening, Hyunwoo invited him to dinner. The old farmer's house was warm and full of laughter. Hyunwoo's wife, Yoonji, served amazing food. Their grandchildren ran around playing games. "You have family?" Yoonji asked Tae-hyun gently. The question hurt, but Tae-hyun found he could talk about it now. "Yes, a daughter, Kira. She was 8 when I last saw her. Now she is 9. You miss her," Yoonji said. It was not a question. Every day. Hyunwoo poured rice wine into small cups. "To family, those we have lost, those we find." They drank together. The wine was strong and sweet. Tae-hyun felt warmth spread through him. Not from the alcohol, from belonging. The next day, something unexpected happened. A young woman arrived at the village. Her name was Yuna. She was an engineer from Seoul, the big city. She had heard rumors of an alien living in the mountains. She wanted to meet him. "Is it true?" Yuna asked excitedly. "You are from space? From another world?" Tae-hyun nodded. Yuna's eyes went wide. "I have questions, so many questions." She pulled out a notebook. "Your ship. Where is it? Can I see it? How does the propulsion work? What about—" Ji-yeon laughed. "Slow down, Yuna. Give him time to breathe." But Tae-hyun did not mind. Yuna's enthusiasm reminded him of younger days, when he still loved technology and exploration. Before war made everything complicated. He took her to his ship. It was hidden in a cave in the mountains. The crash had damaged it badly. Yuna walked around it, touching the hull, examining the engines, asking 100 questions. "This is amazing," she whispered. "The materials, the design. It is years ahead of anything we have." "It is broken," Tae-hyun said. "Can we fix it?" Yuna asked. "We?" Yuna grinned. "I am best engineer in Seoul, maybe in all Korea. You teach me your technology. I teach you human engineering. Together we fix ship. Deal?" Tae-hyun thought about it. Having a working ship meant he could leave Earth if needed, but it also meant, what? He did not want to leave. Still, having options was good. "Deal," he said. They worked on the ship 3 days a week. Yuna was brilliant. She understood complex concepts quickly. She asked smart questions. She saw connections between alien and human technology that Tae-hyun had missed. "Humans are good at making things work with limited resources," Yuna explained. "We are creative. We improvise. Your people have better materials, but we have better imagination." She was right. Together, they made progress. The engines started working. The navigation system came back online. The ship began to look less like wreckage and more like a vessel. During their breaks, Yuna told Tae-hyun about Earth, about the wars humans had fought, about the weapons they had built, about how close they came to destroying everything. "We were stupid," Yuna said. "We almost killed our whole planet over politics and pride." "But you stopped," Tae-hyun said. "Barely. Took us to the edge before we learned. Now we are trying to be better, trying to fix our mistakes, protect our world." She looked at him seriously. "Is the galaxy better than us?" Tae-hyun thought about the Concordance, about Protocol 7, about 40,000 beings sentenced to death for losing a battle, about himself, exiled for showing mercy. "No," he said quietly. "The galaxy is not better, just older, and sometimes being old means forgetting important things." "What things?" "Compassion, second chances, the value of every life." Yuna nodded. "Then maybe Earth has something to teach the galaxy." That night, Tae-hyun could not sleep. He walked to the clinic. Light was still on in Ji-yeon's office. She was working late, doing paperwork. "Cannot sleep?" she asked when he entered. "Too many thoughts." She made tea. They sat together like they did many evenings now. It had become a comfortable ritual. "Ji-yeon," Tae-hyun said, "can I ask you something personal?" "Of course." "Why do you live here, in this small village? You are a good doctor. You could work in a big hospital, make more money, have an easier life." Ji-yeon was quiet for a moment. She looked out the window at the dark mountains. "I had family once," she said softly. "Husband, son. They died in a car accident 5 years ago. I was driving." Her voice broke slightly. "I survived. They did not. Ji-yeon, I am sorry." She held up a hand. "After I could not work in the city. Too many memories. Too much pain. I came here. Started this clinic. I thought maybe if I helped enough people, saved enough lives, it would balance out. Would make their deaths mean something." "And does it?" Tae-hyun asked gently. "Some days. Other days I still feel the pain." She looked at him. "But helping others helps me. Giving care makes me feel less broken. Does that make sense?" "Yes," Tae-hyun said. "It makes perfect sense." He understood then why Ji-yeon had saved him, why she worked so hard. She was not just healing bodies, she was healing herself. "You are very brave," Tae-hyun said. "No more brave than you. You chose mercy when the whole galaxy told you to be cruel. You saved 40,000 people, then you survived exile, started a new life in a strange place." She smiled at him. "You are the brave one, Tae-hyun." Their eyes met. Something passed between them. Understanding, connection. Something deeper than friendship, but not yet named. "Thank you," Tae-hyun said, "for everything, for saving me, for accepting me, for being you." Ji-yeon reached across the table. Her hand found his. They sat like that for a long time. No words needed, just presence. Outside, the autumn festival was approaching. The village elder, Soo-hyun, had announced a special celebration. They would honor the harvest, give thanks for good fortune, and welcome their newest member. Welcome Tae-hyun. As he walked back to his room that night, Tae-hyun looked up at the stars. A year ago, those stars meant home. Now home was here, in this small village, with these humans who showed him what civilization really meant. It was not about technology or power or perfect laws. It was about kindness, about seeing people as valuable just because they existed, about offering second chances. The galaxy had banished him, but Earth had welcomed him, and in doing so, Earth had given him something far more precious than any rank or honor. Earth had given him a reason to hope. The warning came at dawn. Alarms blared across Seoul, then across all of Korea, then across the entire world. 3 ships had appeared in Earth's orbit. Concordance ships. Tae-hyun was helping Hyun-woo in the fields when Minho came running. The teenager was out of breath, holding his tablet. "Tae-hyun, come quick! The news! Aliens! In space!" They rushed to the village center. Everyone gathered around a large screen. The emergency broadcast showed massive vessels hovering above Earth. The image made Tae-hyun's blood run cold. He recognized those ships, Concordance patrol cruisers. A message played. It was translated into all Earth languages. The voice was cold and mechanical. "People of Earth, we seek a criminal named Tae-hyun. He is in your territory. You have 48 hours to surrender him. If you refuse, we will enforce quarantine protocols. This is your only warning." The broadcast ended. Silence filled the village square. Everyone turned to look at Tae-hyun. "I must go," Tae-hyun said immediately. "I will turn myself in. They will leave Earth alone." "No." The voice was firm. It was Ji-yeon. She stepped forward. "We do not give up people who have done nothing wrong." "But I am a criminal," Tae-hyun said. "The Concordance declared it." "The Concordance is wrong," Ji-yeon said. Others nodded. Hyun-woo spoke up. "You are part of our village now. We protect our own." "You do not understand," Tae-hyun said desperately. "Those ships can destroy your entire planet. They have weapons that could—" "We understand perfectly," Soo-hyun said. The old elder's voice was calm but strong. "They want you to be afraid. Want us to be afraid. But fear makes bad decisions. We will not surrender you." Within hours, the village's decision spread. First to nearby towns, then to the cities, then across South Korea, then across the world. In Seoul, Yuna organized a digital campaign. She hacked into news satellites and broadcast Tae-hyun's story. The truth about Protocol 7, the 40,000 lives he saved, his punishment for showing mercy. The response was immediate. Millions of humans saw the message. They understood what it meant. A human military officer named Jin-woo led Earth's Space Defense Initiative. It was a new program, barely 2 years old. Earth had only 12 small ships capable of spaceflight. They were research vessels, not warships. But Jin-woo ordered them all into orbit anyway. He sent a message to the Concordance ships. "Tae-hyun is under Earth's protection. We grant him political asylum. Leave our space immediately." The Concordance response was swift. 3 more warships appeared, 6 total now. They surrounded Earth like predators circling prey. "You have 24 hours," the Concordance broadcast. "Surrender the criminal or face the consequences." Back in the village, people were organizing. Farmers grabbed tools. Mothers called their children home, but they were not running. They were preparing to stand their ground. "This is madness," Tae-hyun said to Ji-yeon. They stood in the clinic, watching the news. "Your entire species could die because of me." "No," Ji-yeon said. "They would die because the Concordance values cruelty over compassion, because they punish good people for being good. That is not your fault, Tae-hyun. That is their fault." Nari's students created signs. They marched in Seoul, chanting Tae-hyun's name, demanding Earth stand firm. Other countries joined. Protests spread across every continent. The UN General Assembly held an emergency session. Representatives from every nation debated. The arguments were heated. "We cannot risk war with an advanced civilization," some said. "We cannot betray someone who trusted us," others replied. "They saved 40,000 lives. Now Earth must save one." The vote came. It was not unanimous. But it was decisive. Earth would grant Tae-hyun asylum. Earth would not surrender him. Jin-woo broadcast the decision to the Concordance fleet. His voice was steady. "We have made our choice. Tae-hyun stays. If you want him, you will have to go through all of humanity." The Concordance commander responded. His face appeared on every screen. He looked angry. "You are a primitive species. You have no concept of galactic law. Surrender the criminal, or we will remove you from protection under the quarantine treaty. You will be defenseless. Jinwoo's response was simple. We would rather stand for what is right than kneel for what is wrong. The 24 hours passed. The concordant ships moved into attack formation. Earth's 12 tiny ships positioned themselves to fight. It was hopeless, like children with toys facing professional soldiers. But then something happened, something no one expected. Ships began arriving from other parts of the galaxy, not concordant ships, private vessels, small transports, personal craft, hundreds of them. They came from 60 different species, and they all positioned themselves around Earth. Taehyun watched the news in shock. He recognized some of the ship designs. They belonged to the species he had saved. The 40,000. A broadcast came through. It showed a being from the Rithian species. He was a soldier. He looked directly at the camera. My name is Kelvin. Commander Taehyun saved my life 1 year ago. The Concordance ordered my death. Taehyun refused. He let me live. Let my ship return home to my family. The Rithian's voice shook with emotion. Now, the Concordance wants to punish him for mercy. We will not allow it. We stand with Earth. We stand with Taehyun. More broadcasts followed. Soldiers from dozens of species, all telling their stories, all saying the same thing. Taehyun had saved them. Now they would save him. The concordant ships did not move. They could not attack without killing thousands of witnesses from dozens of member species. In the village, people cheered. Hyunwoo hugged Taehyun. Nari cried happy tears. Minho pumped his fist in the air. But Ji-yeon looked worried. This is not over, she said quietly. The concordance will not back down easily. She was right. The standoff continued. For 3 days, ships surrounded Earth. Neither side moved. The galaxy watched, waited. Then a new ship arrived. It was smaller than the warships, a diplomatic vessel. It broadcast on all channels. This is Captain Do-hyun of the Concordance Council. I request permission to land on Earth. I wish to speak with Taehyun. Taehyun recognized the name. Do-hyun had been the only council member to vote against his exile. He had argued that mercy was not a crime, but he had been outvoted. Should I meet him? Taehyun asked Ji-yeon. That is your choice, she said. But you are not alone. We will be with you. Taehyun agreed. Do-hyun landed near Seoul. Jinwoo arranged a meeting in a neutral location. Taehyun traveled to the city with Ji-yeon, Hyunwoo, Nari, and Minho, his village family. When he entered the room, Do-hyun stood. The concordance captain looked older than Taehyun remembered. Tired. Commander Taehyun, Do-hyun said, I owe you an apology. You voted for me, Taehyun said. You tried to help. But I did not try hard enough. Do-hyun looked ashamed. After you left, something happened. The 40,000 beings you saved began speaking out, telling their stories. Other species started questioning Protocol 7. Questions became protests. Protests became pressure. What are you saying? Taehyun asked. The council held a new vote. Emergency session. Protocol 7 has been suspended. Your exile has been revoked. Do-hyun's voice grew stronger. You are pardoned, Taehyun. The Concordance formally apologizes, and we wish to open diplomatic relations with Earth. The room was silent. Taehyun could barely process the words. I can go home? He whispered. Yes. Your rank is restored. Your family has been informed. Everything is... No. Everyone stared at Taehyun. He stood up straight. His voice was clear. I am already home. He looked at Ji-yeon, at his friends, at the humans who had welcomed him when the galaxy cast him out. Earth gave me something the Concordance never did. They saw me as a person, not a soldier. They valued compassion over law. They risked everything for one exile. Taehyun's eyes met Do-hyun's. I will help Earth meet the Concordance. I will be their ambassador, but I will not leave. Earth is my home now. Do-hyun smiled. It was a sad smile, but genuine. I understand, and perhaps that is the message the galaxy needs to hear. 2 years passed like a dream. Earth joined the Galactic Concordance, but not as a junior member begging for acceptance. They joined as equals, with one non-negotiable condition. The Concordance must adopt Earth's principles of rehabilitation and second chances. No more Protocol 7. No more executions of defeated enemies. No more permanent exile for those who chose mercy over cruelty. The debate in the Concordance Council was fierce. Many species resisted. But the 40,000 who Tae-hyun saved spoke loudly. Other species who had suffered under harsh laws joined them. Slowly, painfully, the galaxy began to change. Tae-hyun worked as Earth's ambassador. He traveled to other worlds, spoke at councils, negotiated treaties. But he always returned home, always came back to the small village in the mountains. The village had changed too. It was no longer isolated. Curious beings from across the galaxy visited, wanting to see the place that had welcomed an exile, wanting to meet the humans who taught the galaxy about compassion. But the village kept its heart. Hyunwoo still farmed. Nari still taught. Minho graduated and became an engineer, working with Yuna to blend human and alien technology. The children still played in the streets, and Ji-yeon still ran her clinic. But now it had expanded. She treated humans and aliens alike. Her little clinic became famous across several star systems, the place where healing happened not just for bodies, but for hearts. Tae-hyun had built a house next to the clinic. It was small and simple, human style, with wooden floors and paper doors. He liked the simplicity. After years of military bases and sterile ships, he loved the warmth of natural materials. One evening, as autumn painted the mountains gold and red, Tae-hyun sat on his porch. He was reviewing diplomatic reports when Ji-yeon joined him. She brought tea, as always. It had become their ritual. "Tired?" she asked. "A little." The Vorkani delegate was difficult today. What did they want? To exempt themselves from the new rehabilitation laws. They say their culture does not believe in second chances. Tae-hyun sighed. I told them that every culture must grow, that traditions are not more important than lives. And they listened? Eventually, the 40,000 helped. When those you condemned to death come back and say you were wrong, it is hard to argue. Ji-yeon smiled. She poured tea for both of them. They sat in comfortable silence, watching the sun set over the mountains. Tae-hyun, Ji-yeon said, I have something to tell you. He looked at her. Her expression was nervous but happy. What is it? A message came from your daughter, Kira. Tae-hyun's heart stopped. He had sent messages to Kira every month for 2 years, told her about Earth, about his life, about how much he missed her. But she had never replied. He had accepted that maybe she never would, that the Concordance had poisoned her against him too completely. What did she say? Tae-hyun's voice shook. Ji-yeon pulled out a data pad. She asked if she could visit. She wants to meet the humans who helped her father. She wants to see Earth, and... Ji-yeon's eyes were wet. She wants to know if you are still her father. Tears fell down Tae-hyun's face. He did not try to stop them. When? When is she coming? Next month. She is 10 now. She will come with with Serena. Tae-hyun could not speak. His mate was coming too. After all this time. After erasing him. She was bringing their daughter to Earth. Ji-yeon held his hand. They want to see who you became, what you found here, and maybe... She paused. Maybe find what they lost too. The next month moved slowly. Tae-hyun prepared. He fixed up his house. He practiced what to say. He was more nervous than before any battle. The day came. A small ship landed near the village. Taehyun stood with Ji-yeon, Hyun-woo, Nari, and Minho, his Earth family, there to support him. The ship's door opened. A woman stepped out, Serena. She looked older, tired, but her eyes found Taehyun immediately. Then a child appeared, a girl with dark eyes and gray skin. She looked like Taehyun. Kira stared at him for a long moment. "Father?" she said quietly. Taehyun walked forward. He knelt down to her level. "Kira, my daughter, I am so happy to see you." Kira looked at him carefully. "The concordance said you were a criminal, a traitor." "I was, by their laws. But you saved people." "The broadcast said you saved 40,000 lives." "Yes." "Then why did they punish you?" Taehyun chose his words carefully. "Because I broke their rules to follow my heart. Sometimes laws are wrong. Good people must be brave enough to break bad laws." Kira thought about this. Then, slowly, she stepped forward and hugged him. Taehyun wrapped his arms around his daughter and cried. He had dreamed of this moment for 3 years. Serena approached. She looked at Taehyun with complicated emotions. "I am sorry," she said. "I was afraid. The concordance said we had to erase you. If we did not, they would punish us too. I thought I was protecting Kira." "I understand," Taehyun said, and he did. Fear makes people do things they regret. "But then the truth came out," Serena continued, "about what you really did. About Earth standing with you. About the galaxy changing because of you." She smiled sadly. "I realized I erased the wrong person. I should have stood by you." "You are here now," Taehyun said. "That is what matters." Ji-yeon stepped forward. She introduced herself and the others. Kira was shy at first, but Minho made her laugh with silly jokes. Nari gave her a book about Earth animals. Hyun-woo offered her fresh fruit. "Are these your friends?" Kira asked Taehyun. "More than friends," Taehyun said. "They are family. They took me in when I had nowhere to go. They showed me that home is not a place. It is people who care about you." Over the next week, Serena and Kira stayed in the village. They saw how Taehyun lived, his work, his home, his daily life. They met the humans who had changed him. One night, around a fire in the village center, Hyun-woo told stories. Nari's students performed a play about first contact. Yuna showed Kira the ship they had rebuilt together. Serena sat next to Ji-yeon. "Thank you," she said, "for saving him, for giving him a home." Ji-yeon smiled. "He saved himself. We just gave him space to heal." "It is more than that." Serena watched Taehyun laughing with Kira and the village children. "He is happy here. Really happy. I have not seen him like this in years." "He is a good person," Ji-yeon said. "He deserved happiness." Serena looked at Ji-yeon carefully. "You love him." It was not a question. Ji-yeon blushed, but did not deny it. "Is that wrong?" "No. It is right." Serena smiled sadly. "I lost him through fear. You found him through courage. Take care of him. And let him take care of you." When it was time for Serena and Kira to leave, there were tears. But they were not goodbye tears. They were see you soon tears. "Can I come back?" Kira asked. "In summer? Can I learn about Earth?" "Anytime you want," Taehyun said. "This is your home too now. Always." Kira hugged him tight. "I am proud of you, Father. You were brave. You chose to be good even when it was hard." Those words healed something in Taehyun, something that had been broken since his exile. After they left, Taehyun stood with Ji-yeon under the stars. The village was quiet, peaceful. "Are you happy?" Ji-yeon asked. Taehyun thought about the question. 3 years ago, he was a commander with rank and power. He had a mate and a daughter. He had respect across the galaxy. Then he lost everything. But in losing everything, he found something better. He found people who valued him for his character, not his achievements. He found work that mattered. He found a daughter who was proud of him. He found Ji-yeon. "Yes," Taehyun said. "I am happy. The galaxy banished me for choosing mercy. Earth welcomed me for the same reason, and in doing so, Earth taught me what civilization really means." "What does it mean?" Ji-yeon asked. Taehyun took her hand. "It means seeing people as valuable just because they exist. It means offering second chances. It means choosing compassion even when it is difficult." He looked at her. "It means love." Ji-yeon smiled. She leaned against him. They stood together, watching the stars. Somewhere up there, the galaxy was learning, changing, becoming better because 40,000 people lived who should have died. Because one exile chose Earth, because humans showed what true strength looked like. The galaxy had feared Earth, called them primitive, dangerous, violent. But Earth proved that true civilization is not measured by technology or power. It is measured by how you treat those who have nothing, how you welcome strangers, how you stand for what is right even against impossible odds. The galaxy banished Taehyun. Earth welcomed him. And in that simple act of kindness, Earth changed the galaxy forever. Taehyun looked at his home, his village, his people, his life. He was finally where he belonged.